6:02. Roll call. Melissa Bacon.
Here.
Anastasia Ferguson, I am here. Wes Finney.
Here.
Adam Tangway.
Here.
Angela Tardif.
Here.
Judith Fasal.
Present.
We have quorum with all 6 board members in attendance. Any adjustments to the agenda? Seeing none. Approval of the minutes from January 14th, 2025.
Motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
Either one.
Angela.
Is that you? I'm sorry.
It's okay.
So I can't hear out of this ear, so if you see me like doing this, it's because I'm trying to hear.
It's fine.
Are there any questions, comments, concerns with the minutes? All in favor? Motion passes. Old business. New business, MMS courses report.
All right. So I have listened to what the committee was looking for. And you guys had specifically asked for student voice, teacher voice, and trying to figure out how to bring that to you without being able to actually bring all the students and teachers in. And so I actually was able to use a really cool new tool called Google Vids. I don't know if anybody's heard of it, but it's new in the Google Suites. And our grade 6-12 instructional coach, Emily Stacy, conveniently put that in her coaching corner, which is part of our staff newsletter that goes out every week. Like 2 weeks ago, as I was thinking about, okay, how am I gonna bring the voices to the table? And I clicked on that and I was like, okay, that's it. I'm on a mission. I'm going to teach myself how to use this. I'm going to figure it out. So I say that with full disclosure that this is the first time I've ever made a video. And so it's not expert by any means, but I think it was a pretty solid first attempt. And if I ever do it again, I hope to do it better. But along with the video, I did create just a one-page handout of what our new courses are that we're running this year, just as a reminder. And then on the back, I did capture just some students' quotes about the courses. One of our 8th grade teachers is actually conducting a survey of all of our students on our new courses as part of her internship for her graduate class. So I was able to snag some quotes from there and throw those on the back as well, just so you have something to take away. And what I'll do is the video is about 9.5 minutes long. So we'll present the video and then I'll just take whatever questions you have afterwards, if that works for everybody. Oh, also what you should know, sorry, hang on one second, Josh. Any of the music that you hear in the background was all original pieces of music that were created by our 6th and 7th grade music production students. Yeah, it was awesome. It was really fun to do this. And then also the students. So Google Vids allows you to type in your script, and then as you're recording, it kind of rolls in front of you like a teleprompter. And our acting skills are not superb. So it does at times, it kind of looks like they're reading off a script. They are, however, all of the scripts were written by the students. So it is their voices. It's not, it sounds a little robotic at times, but we did not tell them what to say. It is all just their words. They kind of wrote and directed themselves. So just want to put that disclaimer out there. We're ready, Josh. You heard me?
and other important global issues. So far this year, we've had multiple Zoom calls with local professionals, a visit from a food truck, Maddie's
A little bit of technical difficulty.
We have pictures.
Well, let me let him know.
There we go. Oh, that's us.
Oh, that's, hi.
Come in.
Transitioning into this new role, I found the community to be really supportive. It's been wonderful to see how invested and engaged my sixth graders have been in investigating good health and well-being, clean water and sanitization, and other important global issues. So far this year, we've had multiple Zoom calls with local professionals, a visit from a food truck, Maddie's Acai Bowls, where students learned about nutrition, healthy eating options, and then designed their own food truck. Students are currently doing the Iron Giraffe Challenge, where they are creating a text-to-self connection by engaging to bring global awareness for the need for clean water in Southern Sudan. We're looking forward to trout later this year and learning about life in the water.
Interdisciplinary studies is a really fun course where we are learning how to solve world problems. Some of the world problems we have learned about are hunger and poverty. We learned how to solve these issues through research and how to use resources.
In our classroom, we had a tank of kelp and learned about ocean acidification and how kelp can be used to solve this problem.
We learned about data collection and how to graph our data.
Right now, we are working on our own innovation to solve climate change. I have seen so much learning happening in all of the interdisciplinary classes. In 8th grade, students have had the privilege of having Rob Shutterly, a famous artist, come to speak to them. And they also got to try out their skills at drawing portraits. They also have gained valuable research and presentation skills that they will need at the high school level.
Interdisciplinary studies is a class that teaches us about how different things in the world are connected.
We've done lots of fun projects like making self-portraits, having a film study, and researching and making books about countries in Africa.
All these projects are based around the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals.
Overall, interdisciplinary studies is a great addition to MS, and we look forward to learning more about our world and how everything is connected.
In 21st Century Skills, we've been doing a lot of work with identifying values and setting goals for the students. We have been working on decision-making processes, how to make an informed decision, how to identify your options when making decisions, weighing the pros and cons of making decisions. We have been working on our communication skills throughout all of our lessons, using various means of communication, including spoken word, podcasting, poster writing. We've been working on college and career planning for some of the students.
This class is about learning about the different types of things we will have to deal with in the adult world. We learned about laws and ethics and also the 5 steps to responsible decision making. We learned about our friends through creating a podcast, and we also learned new technologies. We also learned about what to expect in high school and college and beginning to think about our career path.
I'm Sean Allaire, and I teach financial literacy here at Massabesic Middle School. I've taught here for 21 years teaching math, and last year we started teaching financial literacy a little bit through the math curriculum. And when this opportunity came up for me to be able to teach it as an allied art to 6th, 7th, and 8th graders, I was excited to be able to do that. It seems so far after the first semester that students have gotten a lot out of it. They've liked the class overall, and we tend to start with a sort of future goal project so that they have a framework to be able to take the information that they learn and think about how it might impact their futures. They've talked about things from saving and budgeting through credit and investing, and culminating in 8th grade with some stuff about colleges and careers and how that impacts taxes for them. Overall, it's been a pleasant experience. I've really enjoyed this semester and like to see the kids getting stuff out of it that they're going to be able to use in their future lives.
In financial literacy, we learned about setting financial goals and about loans, taxes, and then we created a presentation about our financial future. We also played a fun game to learn about the stock market.
I volunteered to take on this STEM position because I'm passionate about all students having the opportunity to experience STEM at its best with computer science, robotics, and engineering. Students learn that computer science is the backbone of their world, with coding and writing programs for robots to perform tasks. They learn that engineers solve real problems by collaborating with peers, dreaming big, taking risks, and moving ideas through a process called the engineering design cycle in order to prototype solutions. Along the way, they are constantly using higher level skills like computational and creative thinking, collaborating and communicating with peers, failing and it turning into success, and they learn perseverance. And in my eyes, that's more valuable than gold. They learn that they're problem solvers of tomorrow. We can feel confident that our students here at MMS will be on the forefront. For these reasons, that's why I love what I do.
I'm Dylan, and this is Jackson, and we are STEM students in 7th grade. In STEM, we learn how to code robots and how to debug programs. We also program the robots to follow a maze. In the unit we are working on right now, we'll teach our robots to write a song, and it'll be a certain program that we do.
Yeah, it has also been a lot of fun so far. We are allowed to also work with partners on it if we want to. It's been really fun and a good opportunity for us too. And we are also really grateful for this opportunity at MMS and for Ms. Thorne.
I am so excited to have jazz band during the school day. Historically, it has been an after-school activity, and due to the fact that sports and other clubs were meeting after school, we only saw about 8 to 10 students who were able to participate. With our jazz band being offered as a class during the school day, we've seen those numbers grow in 1 year to 38 current members in grades 7 and 8. Teaching jazz is very important in our schools, as it is the truly American art form that was founded here and was spread out across the world. Teaching this music allows us to better understand our history, our culture, and how today's modern music evolved out of jazz and arrived where it is today. Having jazz band during the school day sets our school apart from many other schools locally, as we're one of the only schools that I am aware of where jazz band is a curricular class during the day. We're very grateful. Thank you very much.
Jazz band was my first introduction to band. It gave me an opportunity to play drum set with other people and expand my skills. I like how we're able to create such good music, and it's a really unique style that not a lot of other middle school kids get to experience, but I think that they should be able to.
Hi, I like jazz band. It is really fun. Not just the playing, but also communicating with other people. It's not every day that you see the opportunity to play or hear piano in middle school. I had the opportunity in jazz band to improvise in solo, which isn't often seen in concert.
One of my favorite things about jazz band is that we got to play so many new and different pieces of music. One of the songs we played, called Second Line, I really enjoyed because we didn't use music sheets, and it was all from memory, and it was a new experience for me.
Music production is a course that was created for music and non-music students to learn about music technology using a digital audio workstation, which is their laptop, a cloud-based music sequencing software, their headphones, and a mouse. It is an immediately gratifying course that requires no previous musical knowledge, yet it teaches them songwriting form and structure so that they can create their own songs once they leave here. It also teaches them about sound engineering as a possible career opportunity. This course benefits our middle school because we now have a music course that can extend to all students, to students who might not want to perform but still are interested in pursuing music in some other way.
I love music production. It is one of the it was one of the things that made me actually want to be present at this school. The atmosphere in this class really just brings a smile to my face, and everyone is really engaging and helps each other get work done.
So, yeah, thank you. Very cool technology, isn't it? I had so much fun playing with it, and learning how to put this together. So I'll just take any questions that you might have, but what I tried to do is just bring you the voices of the teachers and students and let you know how things are going. In terms of where we're headed from here, we've started talks about what it looks like to potentially have students be able to do some self-selection for their Allied Arts next year. We're looking to start that with just one selection and just 7th graders getting to select for 8th grade. We'll kind of see. We're trying to learn what that process might look like for us in terms of how we set that up and what programs we use to be able to do scheduling in that way. It's not something that's typically done at the middle level. But the opportunities that we see in being able to do that, there's a couple of things. We had talked about if students self-selected STEM, for example, we would still have 6 sections of STEM running. But if we could take, if there were 20 kids who chose that as their #1 course, and we were able to make sure those 20 kids were in the same section together, it provides an opportunity for that teacher to maybe teach that course a little bit differently, geared towards kids who are interested in that as a career path, do some advanced work with them. Similarly, if we have students who self-select Spanish, we'd like to be able to put students who have had exposure to Spanish in 6th grade and in 7th grade into the same section for 8th grade, because they'll have been seeing it for the 3rd time, as opposed to kids who haven't had it yet and just got placed in there. So hoping that we can use some of those strategies to level our Spanish classes, so kids are with kids that are at their same level in those classes. Some of the other things that have been talked about but not yet realized are the possibility that if we have students who have taken Spanish, for example, in grade 6, grade 7, and are now selecting it in grade 8, there's an opportunity that we could potentially offer that as a full year course where students could potentially do the Spanish 1 curriculum as 8th graders. Not necessarily for credit, but to be able to start in Spanish 2 as freshmen and get an extra year in. So there's lots of cool opportunities that we kind of see out there in the future. Haven't quite gotten the logistics down of how that will work, but that's just some of the thinking that we're starting to do as we head into planning for next year.
I'm interested in knowing what music production software they use in writing music.
They're using BandLab. It's a software that Benjamin found.
What?
BandLab, it's called.
BandLab?
BandLab, yep. And we actually have set up a music lab space now in room 81, which is our room off the library. It's all set up as a music production laboratory where all of the stations are set up for kids to come in with the headphones and the
Your school has
computers.
2 full-time music teachers now?
So Benjamin is our chorus teacher.
Right.
And he teaches this music. He teaches 2 sections currently of music production. And then Dan is our band teacher who's teaching 2 sections of jazz band, as well as the 6th grade band, 7th grade band, and 8th grade band.
So they teach at other schools, is what you're saying?
Nope, they're at the middle school full-time.
Oh, well,
both
that's
of
what
them.
my question was.
Yes. Yep, they're both full-time at the middle school.
And my third question is, these are just the new courses?
Yes.
So we don't have any elimination of the other core classes like reading and literacy or math or
No
science?
elimination. Nope.
Or
So-
social studies?
Students have 5 core classes now within their team. They have English, social studies, math, science, and interdisciplinary studies.
Okay.
So those are the 5 core classes on every team. And then we have a number of allied arts offerings. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, sure. Any other?
Not so much a question. I just want to say it's pretty exciting. I think I remember my kids transitioning from elementary to middle and high school. And the middle school is really where I think a lot of kids struggle, starting to lose that excitement and interest every day. And so finding, even if it's one class that just gets them excited, for some kids it's their friends or their sports, but if they don't have that, then having something that could draw them in. I love the interdisciplinary, the life skills, really, around financial literacy and those kind of things. So I'm very excited about the program.
Yeah, thank you. We are too. This is like my favorite part of the job is getting to go out and just talk about we just have such a great
Could you
team
sort
and
of
staff
repeat what he
and-
said?
And they're doing a great job.
I'm sorry, I was just saying I was excited by the program. It wasn't a question. I was just
I
excited.
couldn't hear what you said.
Sorry. It wasn't a question. I was just saying I was excited for the opportunity for the students.
Okay. Thank you.
Ditto what Adam said.
I think we can all agree on that one.
Yeah.
I think, I'd hate to miss the opportunity to say just how grateful I am. I know I've talked at length about my own experience as a parent of a child at the middle school, but I know that some of those budget conversations and some of the ways that you have arrived at this outcome, when we're presented budget challenges or staffing challenges, a lot of times it's really easy to look at that in a negative way and think, how are we possibly going to do without this? And I think it's a really a huge testament to the leadership in the school, the support, the turning that challenge into something that really is pretty amazing and impressive. The pieces that they talked about in terms of music enrichment at a higher level for students, the jazz band, for example, that happening during the school day is unique in this area at a middle school level. The fact that we're a semester in and your staff are already thinking about what are the ways that we can make this even more engaging and relevant to students based on their interest speaks to that success. And really that response is not typical to a challenge of staffing. So I think it's really important when you have these successes. It's great. The video is amazing. I think kudos to you for doing that. And you've set a new standard. When we talked at the beginning,
I hope I didn't set the bar so
it's
high.
great. I think when we
It was
talked at the
fun.
beginning of the year, we heard loud and clear that you wanted to hear student voice and teacher reflection. And I think this really captured those changes in a way that is meaningful for you to have some insight, but doesn't burden the students or put them on the spot in what can be an intimidating environment. So I think you've done a fantastic job. Kudos to you and all of the participants. That is a video like that takes a lot of work to coordinate, and it really has given us as a committee, I think, a huge benefit to be able to see that. I also think it's awesome to see our students willing to put themselves out there. Was it Addie with the trumpet?
Yeah.
That takes a lot, right? That video is not going away. In fact, I think we might have to put it out in a lot of different places. And it's just so cool to give the kids a venue to be able to express that and share what they want. What I saw through the print and in the video is that the students really are engaged. And I think that's what we're looking for. Judith, when you asked the question about how does it impact the core curriculum for students, I don't know about you, but that video makes me hungry to know, okay, great. What does an English class look like? What are they doing in some of these other areas? So I just think all around it's really inspiring. Amy hit the nail on the head. We get bogged down with a lot of the things that we have to do every day. This is a really cool way for us to celebrate some changes. And I just appreciate everybody taking the initiative to make it a positive one and turn a challenge into something really great.
Thank you for all the support. I know it means a lot to the staff too. And I'm able to go back and tell them, how supportive you guys are and how excited. And I think it just gives everybody a good feeling and inspiration to just keep doing what they're doing. So
The next meeting, a video on all the other core classes.
Yeah, sure. People are gonna start running when they see me coming, like, hey, sit down for a minute. They're gonna be like, no more. Yeah.
The
no,
choice is
everybody
amazing
was-
too.
Was excited to do it.
Yeah, thank you,
It was
Amy.
fun.
I just, thank you publicly for taking charge and like, it is a lot of work and loved hearing from the students themselves and the teachers. So well done.
Thank you. Our 21st Century Skills students are actually starting a new unit to learn how to make videos like this in their class. So I'm really excited to go up and play around with them.
And the fact that you said the music was written.
Yeah, it was all written
by
the kids.
students,
Yep, they
so
put that all together themselves.
it's amazing.
Yep. Thank you.
Any other questions, comments, concerns? Judith?
Yes, is this fifth core available to all students in the school or only a certain portion at certain times or?
It's actually a required class for all kids, grades 6, 7, and 8. It meets every day all year.
They get to choose which one they want to be in? Is that what
For
it is?
the Allied Arts, we're looking at offering some choice for our older students. But the interdisciplinary studies is a core class that meets every day on team.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you for the opportunity to share.
Anything else? Moving on, Spring Community Forum. We tabled this from the last meeting because we couldn't come up with topics. Here we are. I'm open to ideas, suggestions, thoughts, comments. Oh, boy.
So what's the, I mean, start back at the beginning, what's the purpose of doing
I've gone to so many over the years. They originally started, I don't remember if it was Lodge or maybe Eric. They were just to get the community and the stakeholders together to discuss specific things. It used to have to involve ESSER funds for one of the community forums. We've done things revolving around strategic plan, curriculum-based, the PGE.
We look at perhaps seeing how each of our schools are moving our strategic plan forward.
We could.
Progress that's been made.
That'd be awesome input. Any other thoughts, concerns, comments?
Have we chosen a date yet for the forum?
We needed a topic before we chose a date.
What?
We needed a topic before we chose a date.
Okay.
We're looking at spring. We usually do it in April timeframe, either before vacation or right after.
Okay.
It's usually where they tend to fall. We
Okay.
try to do it before vacation, before it gets too crazy with the spring sports.
Have we had a response from the community as to how many people would be wanting to participate?
No, because we don't have a topic yet.
We don't have a topic.
That's what we discussed this last meeting. We couldn't come up with a topic, so we tabled it for this meeting. So that's what we're discussing now. What's the best way to do this?
I think the strategic plan is a good point to present. Because we just completed that strategic, we put a lot of time into that, couple of years of work. So I think here's the progress on strategic plan year one. And then list some of the things that you've accomplished within each one of the subcategories.
I think that works. Gives an update to the
I could not
community.
hear what he said.
I said I think that the strategic plan would be a good proposal for the forum, for whatever the topic is for the forum, because it's something that we put a lot of time into. We had several meetings. We invited the public into the schools to talk about what do we want to have for our students from our schools. So I think that would be a good concept to present on year one. Here's where we're at. Here's a strategic plan. Here's what we've done. And that's something you could have for a couple of years too. Because the strategic plans are supposed to be done like every 5 years. So I think that would be a good way to inform the public.
It also gives not just the community, but board members that choose to sit here an update on where we are moving forward with each of those subcategories.
Pertains from central office through all of our buildings. It's far-reaching.
It's not just curriculum, it's the facilities, it's.
I hear you. So would we be looking at sort of like a progress report out, like something, like what would the structure of that look like? We present on a refresher maybe of what the strategic plan.
Maybe like a refresher of what strategic plan is and what steps we've taken to make specific things. I don't have it in front of me, so I can't narrate a specific topic, but like say curriculum. What we've taken in curriculum within the district between elementary, middle school, and high school, where we are maybe not completing, but where we stand in that section. And then same with the rest of the other sections.
So to refresh folks' memory, we have an area on students which talks about some instruction, learning pathways, student engagement and participation. Amy's taking care of that one for us tonight. Thank you, Amy. We also have staff, recruiting, onboarding and support, professional development. Community is the third area, school and community connections, inter-school connections, and fostering engaged and knowledgeable citizens. And then we have the more facilities and resource-based with our long-term plan for MHS and quality resources for learning, as well as a long-term capital improvement plan.
Yeah, I think hitting the highlights on those areas, this was probably a great example from the middle school of, part of that. And then maybe opportunity for community members to talk about what's on their minds for concerns or thoughts or anything else as part of that, to make sure we're taking that input in continually as we go through the plan, as we execute.
How many participants did we have last year?
The one we had in the spring, maybe 20-ish. And that was between students, a couple local businesses, the board members, the administration that was here. We had a couple students that spoke very well.
So how many businesses participated, I guess?
There was three.
Three? I think there was three.
So it was made up mostly by students, parents, and board members?
Correct. There was more community than there was board members. The board members that were present were mostly this committee.
Well, I know that
Dominic was here, but he
stay
wasn't here
for-
as a board member, he was here as a business. We had Cynthia Vermette here as a business. What was the other business? I don't remember.
Aerospace, something. It was a woman, I can't remember her name. She spoke.
She sat right there.
Yeah, she sat right there and she spoke.
I can't remember her name.
Either.
From the How and place? No? Was it from How and How or no?
No. She was here for the community forum and then she ended up talking based on what she did, which was interesting. And then the students that spoke about what they did with jobs and how they got them and incorporated their education into it.
But I think overall participation wasn't what we'd hoped for. I know we had some challenges.
We had the big storm within that week, so I think that caused some issues.
Yeah.
We should look at for this year, how do we get communication out? Also, how much time do we need to get that out
Blitz.
for a date?
I think time of day too. I think 7 o'clock is late.
7 o'clock might have been a little
It's
too
kinda
late.
Yeah,
'Cause I think we did it after this meeting.
we did.
We could always reverse them, right?
We could reverse them,
If we want
yep.
to stick with the same night, do the committee meeting after if the committee's willing to.
We're
We're here the
here.
same amount of time regardless.
We're here either way. But I think if we started earlier, it might be beneficial.
There's a reason we can't do it in May instead of April.
We can pretty much do it whenever. We just,
Because then you don't have to worry about weather and, you have more time to plan and look at what you need to do and prepare. It's right around the corner.
I think part of the reason why we did it at the time we did it last year is we were trying to hit in between sports seasons. I think we were trying to be done with winter sports, but before spring sports really got going, to get more people to come. I'm not sure how much that impacted attendance or would have if we had done it later.
I think last year it was April 9th. My memory serves me correct, because I think I looked it up last meeting. I think it was April 9th last year. And I know we had a storm a couple days prior, which I don't think I had power yet.
Yeah.
So I mean, does the district calendar have sporting events on it?
That's what I'm looking at right now. It's just a couple clicks away. I think it might still be early for spring calendar events, but I think if you, pretty much any night you pick, you're gonna likely have some sort of conflict. I think if it's a fairly small population anyway, we just set it and communicate early. And if folks really want to be there, they'll make it, and if not, they can at least, I would imagine it would be televised. Right?
Yeah.
So they could at least see minutes. It's not quite the same as participating, but
I mean, if we go out as far as May, the only thing we have to think about is the district vote or referendum or whatever that we usually do at the middle school. I don't see that on the calendar.
No, I don't see it either. May 13th is curriculum.
Yeah.
It's on the RSU 57 page.
Okay, so the district budget meeting is on May 6th.
Okay.
So if we did it on the 13th, before curriculum, so we could do the community forum at 6 and then our meeting at 7, if that's not too late for anybody. This way we can do the community thing first.
What is it?
May 13th, our curriculum meeting. We'll just, instead of us starting our meeting at 6, we'll start at 7. We'll put the community forum before it. If that works. I don't know if you have to clear that with Steve and.
I think we could tentatively establish that. I don't see that as being an unreasonable solution.
You hear that, Jude?
Only an hour.
Did you hear the date?
I can't hear.
So May 13th is, and starting at 6 with the community forum, and then moving our curriculum committee meeting to 7 o'clock or 7:15.
That's fine with me.
Is there any benefit to, I've never actually, it's one of the few committees I don't think I've filled in on, but for public relations, I don't know which one of us is the public relations person on here, but is it worth reaching out to that committee to see if they have any other ideas as well on how to get more information out, communication out?
I'm on PR tech.
Perfect. If someone was, because they had to be.
Damn it.
But that's actually one I haven't sat in on, which is unusual, but I just realized.
All right, so say that again.
I didn't know if there was anything that group has talked about or whatever around communication that might help us get the word out better.
I mean, we've talked about what ways that we can communicate with the community, or what ways we do communicate with the community. I mean, I think that's just a matter of brainstorming some ideas that would best reach the most people. Whether it be through the newsletter, through a flyer that goes out to families. Businesses will be a different monster in and of itself, because they're not all associated necessarily with the school in some way, shape, or form. So then we would have to specifically reach out to those industries. Yeah, I think a lot, it's PR tech and this committee can sometimes be similar. I find the conversations run kind of parallel.
Yeah.
I think our established channels through newsletters and the ability that we have to be able to push alerts and whatnot through ThrillShare, the software that we use that does your like snow day blasts and things like that, would allow us to get out a message to most of the stakeholders we usually communicate with. And then I think, again, because I don't remember where these conversations overlap, forgive me, we did some work with Career Fair where we had 60 some odd businesses attend. And I bet we could probably get that contact list. And I know that in the feedback that we received from them, many of them said they'd be willing. So whatever business owners don't happen to already be parents in the community or people who are on our lists, at least that those 60, if they responded for the Career Fair, they're probably the most likely group that's going to interact with us here. Maybe we could also put a flyer in town offices.
Yeah. Yep.
Town offices.
Sure.
I don't know if any of them. I've got one done.
I'm looking at jump ship. Yeah,
Back
jump
in the
and ship,
day, we used
jump
to
in
have-
towns.
They used to have the boards in the grocery stores, but I don't know if they have those anymore.
I know Limerick has well, we put anything on our community boards at the municipal office, but also our supermarket, our Limerick Village Variety will put posters up, or not posters, but signage. The post office, I mean, anything that's community-based lights.
Yeah, and I wonder too, if we are quick enough to get a Facebook post out to advertise it to the community, if we just make it an effort and maybe ask for other board members to make it an effort, if you're part of a community page, maybe you just share the district's post on a community page. A lot of people live on Facebook, so I feel like we're likely to get that venue out.
I mean, there's all of these community, the Facebook pages for the communities that are like for, the dump is closed today, or,
happening
whatever, one of those, depending on where, with Shaken and Shapley and, it's like all these different ones. I feel like if they got shared even a couple times on each of those pages, it would lend the best opportunity for area businesses and things like that.
I mean, if I see it posted, or if I know when it's gonna be posted, I can go in and share it to Limerick's community pages.
Yeah, I'm happy to share it on my fields.
Really
Right,
good.
she's
She's an admin. So I think it feels like a manageable workload. Maybe we can look at I don't know what the next step is for gathering how we present about the strategic plan, but I can work a little bit on that behind the scenes. And maybe place just a check-in. We'll revisit the topic again in March. And I can share whatever I'm able to accomplish at that point in time in terms of preparation for what we would present.
Maybe we take the part about community, of the part of the strategic plan about the community, and maybe just do a presentation on that. Rather than the whole strategic plan where it feels like maybe we're talking at them, where rather we're talking kind of to them as community members.
I'd hate to lose though some of the, I don't know if we need to hit the whole plan, especially since I don't know how much some of the areas, maybe we haven't moved as much as the rest, but
Right.
like, I think some of the ways that we're looking to engage students more, I'd hate to lose that piece, because I think that's what a lot of community members want to know about. Not just how we're engaging with the
Absolutely.
community, but how we're engaging students. So I agree, I don't think we need to hit them all, but maybe we pick ones that we think are most
Right.
relevant to the people that would be attending. I don't know also if there's any thoughts just with, current things that could be going on, if there could be people with concerns just about what does the future of education look like over the next few years. And I think we just should be at the least prepared for what those open dialogues could bring and how can we respond to the concerns.
I think that's a great point.
I could not hear a word that he
No,
said.
I'm
I know, it's my hearing.
And my inability to speak very loudly.
That vent is up, is going right above.
So
Need an interpreter.
So he was saying just anticipate that we could get very open-ended feedback. We might share kind of the progress that our schools are making as it centers around the strategic plan, but that we could anticipate folks might come with a particular item in mind that may be a little bit different. And so how we might guide that conversation, I think,
I
right?
want to make sure that we are welcoming to the community feedback, but also careful not to sidetrack and all the conversations. It's a balance.
Dirt road.
What's that?
You don't want to take the dirt road.
Yeah.
That's why we have Dr. Doyle. She'll facilitate everything in a proper direction.
That sounds like a tall order, Mr. Finney, but I appreciate the vote of confidence. Yeah, I can, if that works for folks, I'll kind of draft an overview and make sure that it's not just me talking about the progress, that we can tap a few people strategically to share, and then maybe we can look to duplicate some more of the vignette style thing that we've seen. I think that resonates really well with people who are looking for an overview and would be really helpful for the community who maybe aren't as involved or don't have children in the schools that might need that. And then I think we can take a peek at the progress and determine what else do we want. Do we want to have some structured questions that we ask specific to their feedback? Do we want to give them a quick little survey they could fill out while they're here? And then I think we can have a tentative communication plan, maybe a timeline for what we plan to do and when. Does that feel like a good plan?
Sounds good to me.
And we really reached a thought block in that last meeting. It sounds like we've got a great plan out of nothing from where we left, so that's great. Perfect.
We just needed to think on it for
We did.
a few weeks.
All right, so May 13th, and I'll also check and make sure that date is gonna be an okay thing.
Amy's gonna coach us on how to do, what is it? Google Vids.
Google Vids.
So I can think of a few groups that would be fun to highlight.
I was gonna say, I think
I
we
just
could
like
use
to know how to
Triana
share
should-
documents to the Google
should
thing.
lead that.
Could you make a slide?
Said I think you should lead that
workshop.
Have to.
How to use Google Fit.
We can all go, and then we all take a group to go and
Right.
take a section of the video.
Because I'm looking to make a slideshow for senior. Would that be good?
I'm not a super techie person, and that
Me
was
either.
totally just me in there playing around self-teaching, and it's actually really
Pretty good to me.
user-friendly once you get into it, but it was fun.
Great. Anything else? No, so that's it. Our next meeting is March 11th at 6 PM, and we are adjourned at 6:53.
Thank you, everybody. So efficient.